Hey guys, how you going? Welcome back. This is Storm, and this is episode 100 of my single-player Tiveden World Build and Play series. Whoa, that was a mouthful. 100 episodes. We have finally done it. Right on the start of a new day, which is perfect timing for our nice cheery music tune here. And this is going to be a world tour episode, guys. So get comfortable, grab your snacks, grab your drinks. This is going to be a long episode. I'm going to show you guys everything I have going on in my world here. It is a survival world, something I've been working on for a very long time, years in fact, and I'm very keen to show you guys what is happening, and hopefully you guys will like what's going on. So if you're a new subscriber, long-time viewer, doesn't matter, there's going to be something in this episode for everyone, because there's many things I've been adding recently that no one has seen before. So let's jump straight into it. First of all, let's start off with our map here. This is pretty much the main outline of our island here. This is the main island. This is pretty much my base. This is where I come back to. Now, it's not really an actual island. I made it an island. This whole area along here, this river system, is all man-made. I had to explode all this out. I did this early on in the series, and we turned this whole area into an island. So I'm pretty happy the way it's turning out so far. You can see the detail, different building structures we've been adding, and there's still plenty of spaces here for us to build and to grow into. So anyway, here we go. So let's start off with some buildings here. This one down here, let's talk about this one. This is one of the first houses that I built on my island here. And it's probably one of my most popular videos as well on my YouTube channel. So this is what I've been calling a modern house build. I know a lot of people will disagree with that, but I like it. I think it's modern mainly because of the look for it rather than the actual building style or the blocks that we use. But I think it's a modern look. It's been quite popular. I know a lot of people have been replicating this house build in their own worlds, which is pretty awesome to see. A lot of people have been sending me pictures and posts on my Twitter just showing here's the different house they've recreated in their own world. And let's go check out mine. So this is an interior that I've been changing quite a lot over the years. So I hide in some light sources under the carpets. So I pretty much do this everywhere in my main building structures. And this is the main kitchen area and dining. We do have a downstairs area. This is where we have a simple enchantment setup. We do have our snow golems here. We did have one in this corner as well, but somehow he escaped. This goes down into a mine shaft and a mining area. We have this luxury pad down here for swimming. We've got ourselves a cool pool and this warm area. This is nicely heated up from our newly added magma blocks into the game, so we get this nice steaming effect every now and then as the water boils off, and that's pretty cool. And we have ourselves a nice little change room in here. Nothing too fancy. I don't like to go in too crazy with the detail. We do have an upstairs area, and this is where we have our sleeping arrangements. Just some extra storage. Got this nice overlooking window area into an outside seating arrangement, and this is quite nice. We can come out here, just check out what's going on in our world. And you can see over there we've got this tiger biome. I'm pretty sure it's a tiger biome. And there's snow all around there, but it doesn't snow there anymore. So this was back in the game when it used to snow in this biome. That's where we had our ice farm, and yeah, things change in the world. So it doesn't snow out there anymore, it just rains. But here we go. This is what my main house, I guess we could say. This is certainly where everything started, really. And we've got a balcony set up on both sides. Similar kind of setup on the front and back. Let's just jump down here, make it a bit easier for ourselves. And we've got these kind of garden beds. I like to have a mixture of structured and really disorganized kind of flowers and farming areas and stuff. I think it just adds something to your world. And so there you go. This is a house that I built early on. It's been quite popular, and I kind of expanded upon that by adding in some other houses. I kind of wanted to turn this whole island into like a large little township at some point. Been slowly working towards that. We've created a few other houses in here, same kind of setup with a kitchen, and what else do we have? I guess we've got our sleeping arrangement upstairs, which has got a nice little skylight, so we can always check out the night time as we want to. In fact, most of these areas have a working kitchen with a working fridge, so grab ourselves a carrot. And what else do we have? We have this other building over here. This whole area around here is something I have been working on, just trying to make the pathways a little bit more defined. I guess if you've been going back to earlier versions of this series, you'd see that this was a little bit more, I don't know, run down and overgrown. Over time you can start to see a bit more detail and the pathways become more defined. It's exactly the kind of building style that I've always been wanting to do. So Anyway, that's a bit of history about the paths. So this area, the inside, I haven't worked on too much over the years. These enchantment areas will generally give me 30 levels, so I can really run into any of these rooms, any of these houses to do an enchantment if we want to. This is an area that I have changed more recently, just adding in a nice bedroom. And I really like this window arrangement here. This allows us to grow some pot plants and some little plants on this windowsill and this ledge, and it looks quite nice. Let's go down this way. What do I have out here? Now this is just small garden beds. Got ourselves a little furnace station, nothing too fancy. And this is an area that I've been changing a little bit more recently. This is my, I don't know, I guess you can call it a church. It's certainly a place of worship. So there's no easy way to get in. If you're a long time subscriber, you would know there is a nice sneaky way to get in. Whoops, totally missed it. There we go. I'm going to miss it. So you got to get it just right. There is some tripwires up there. And if you aim it about right, you'll get through and the door will open up. So of course I've just missed it yet again. Too low. That should get it. Nope, still didn't get it. How about now? There we go. And yes, I've made a few little changes in here, making this nice and neat, nice and bright. I've hidden in some torches underneath this carpet. Before it was a little bit darker in this room. And just adding a little bit of detail in here with the different light sources makes it look nice and bright, and pretty happy the way it's turning out. And we have ourselves, I guess, a little podium area to say everything that you want to say. Got ourselves some goodies hidden back in these donation chests, I guess you could say. And we also have this nice little, let's do this. Ooh, what's that? We have our way down here. So this is a nice little sneaky way to come down into this area. And this whole area is really interesting because I never took anything out of these chests. So this is what the old chests used to look like with their loot. You really didn't get much out of these. And yeah, a little disappointing. But yeah, so there's this zombie spawner that I haven't really turned anything into. This is where I created a little memorial for, whoa, can't swim. For one of my original dogs and my wolves that I had in my world. And here he is. This is where he's resting. And yeah, I'm pretty sure his bones are still underneath there. And we have our way out. It's a little bit hidden, but you can get out. Here we go, through this little pathway. Kind of sneaking through a ravine system. Now this is old generation, so don't forget, when you play more recent versions of Minecraft, some of the things that you'll see in my world, you just don't really see spawn naturally, just by the fact that the world generation has changed a fair bit over the years. But this is an area that we can come down, and this is where I fight my withers. I've just got this, is this 3x3? Yeah, 3x3 tunnel system that goes all the way down, pretty much to bedrock, and that's where I fight my withers. So I have in the past, haven't done it for a while, and I like the way this area looks. This comes up to one of my many underground systems here. This is where we've just got different pathways that lead into different areas. That tune we had at the start, in fact, is triggered through redstone with a daylight sensor. And this is the area here where we have our tune set up. So we've got a polar bear in here. Try to went for a snowy kind of theme inside this room. And basically we have a beacon here that activates based on when it's nighttime. And we also have these tunes that play it. So I can trigger these manually. If I break that. So that's the tune we heard at the start of the episode. All nice and cheery, and we can activate this one as well. So this is the nighttime theme. So as it gets nighttime, we have this tune that goes off, and it's a nice little reminder that it is going to be dangerous out there. So if you hear this tune, it means you got to sleep pretty quickly. And this polar bear really likes this block. Since I brought him into this area, he really hasn't moved, so I'm not sure what it is, but don't know. Now he's finally moving, but he always seems to come up and just stand right here. So there's something about the, I guess, the look. Maybe this is the best viewing spot. But yeah, that's what happens to that polar bear. Anyway, let's keep on going. There's a lot to see in this episode. As we come up this stairway, just out of this tunnel area, we have this area that's kind of been, I don't know, tried to make it look a little bit evil and, I guess, dangerous. We've got lava flowing around, we've got fire around the place, and this pathway along here, I've over the years made changes to this to try and make it more challenging for me, where sometimes I can fall in and I can die, and I have died before falling into this area, and I like it. It's kind of like earthquake prone, where it's just been crumbling away over the years, and it's just made it a little bit more dangerous. But anyway, so let's go down this way. Might as well keep going along this theme, along this tunnel system. This is a mob trap. Doesn't work very well. I have made some repairs recently to it, but I do need to redo it. And we do get mobs that come up, and they... What? Uh-oh. Okay, we'll just leave that door closed. But we do have mobs that come up, and they die, and they fall down to a catchment area. This is how we can control it. So at the moment, we've got many levels available to us where mobs are spawning, and I can adjust the different levels by adjusting the position of this. So that means... So basically, when I'm in this mode, it means all these spawning pads are fully lit up, so there won't be any mobs spawning in there. That allows me to do maintenance, and this trapdoor opens, and this trapdoor opens. This allows access down into that area. So let's leave it going. So let's put it on all levels. That means that all levels are currently spawning mobs, so that allows me to get all their drops. So let's go down this way. This is a little tunnel system. This basically followed the existing path of a mining or a cave system, and this is just an area that I spruced up, made it look a little bit nicer. We can jump down into this area. This comes down into an existing mineshaft system. This is where we've got another mob system, mob trap. There's actually a triple mob spawner set up here, so this is something you don't see too frequently in the game. We've got ourselves a skeleton spawner there. How do we get out? See if I can remember how to get out. So there was a skeleton spawner there, and we have ourselves another skeleton spawner and a zombie spawner over here. So this is quite nice, and I should probably do a bit more work in here to maximize the use of using these spawners, but since we've had different setups in the world, in the game that has changed over the years, I've used this less and less. Used to use this mainly for getting XP, but I don't use it as much anymore. So to get XP, I used to raise up this block, and then the mobs will fall down, stand on that one block, and I could just punch them to death. And I've got many loots stashed up over the years of things that I can just come and grab whenever I want. This is just some little areas that I set up around my place to just, I don't know, like little places if I need food, or if I need to do a quick smelt or something like that. Along here we have ourselves my vine room. This is where I come in and basically grab all my vines as I need them. So I just grab myself some shears, go crazy cutting down all the vines that I need, and it just regrows over time. And I've got this nice little storage system set up inside this, the mouth of this thing. It's kind of like, I don't know, like an old ritual head or something like that. And we keep coming down. Now let's go around this way. We can come around through here. There's many ways around my world. There's different paths that go all over the place. This is the main... That bat is just hanging out with his baby zombies, which is pretty cool. But this is where we have underneath our mob system, these guys can fall down, and I get the drops from the other mobs as well. So I can get XP here. I mainly get the drops, that's the main thing that I'm after. And that works quite nicely. This is just another enchantment room setup. I really like to experiment with different designs. So this is kind of like one where this enchantment area is like coming up out of the lava, allowing us to do an enchantment. Yeah, I think that was just a crazy idea, but I think it works. And we just have some things like extra storage stashed back here where we have an oversupply of items. This is where I drop things off. And strangely, I do have slimes that spawn right around here, so eventually I should probably turn this into a slime kind of capture area. Because slimes do spawn nearby. Anyway, let's keep on going. We can get out, whoops, not through there. We can come up through this way. This will take us through to one of many little exits and entrances that I have hidden around my world. If you've downloaded my map and explored around, you would notice that there's many levers and buttons around the place that do different things. So this just takes us back up to here. For example, there's another hidden way through there. If you want to go exploring, you can download my map and go exploring. Let's come up through here. This is just like a transition area. This takes us back up to our main surface area. Now this is a different part of the island, so just to get your bearings, what I'll do is I'll just come back through here. And this area will look familiar to you. So this is where I run through all the time, quite frequently, to do different things. And yeah, so let's keep going. So this area here is my blacksmith area. This is where I do crafting different things. I have my main building here that I've created for our blacksmith. We have many things like this. This is like a nice little system to get down to where that polar bear was. So that's taking us literally right down where our wither room is, just down there. So we can swim up, swim down, and it's just another way to navigate around my world. So that's too slow. Let's try and do something fancy. Let's see if I can do this to get out of here. Is this going to work? Let's give it a go. Oh, nope, totally didn't kind of work. That was crazy though. But anyway, so this is another room that we have midway up, and this is where we have that tunnel system that comes up and down. We have another way to get through here. One of many hidden doors and entrances that I have. This takes us up into underneath our blacksmith building. So this is where I keep most of my really goodies when I do my mining. I've got plenty of stuff stashed up. As you can tell, I'm kind of addicted to cave mining and just gathering resources. I have blocks and blocks of stuff for days, many things. I don't really need to go and do any more cave mining, etc. But I've got lots of stuff that I just like. I don't know, I find it really relaxing going and collecting resources and just having that around. What's this guy doing? Oh, he did try and shoot me. But you missed, buddy. Okay, so this is just one of the many portals that I have that takes us into our Nether hub system, our Nether tunnel area. Let's just come up here. We can come up through this doorway. This takes us into the main building area, or the main living area for our blacksmith building. This is it here. Did add in this doorway here. This is just another entrance to come in and out of this room. This is where we can come up, and this is where I have my main storage for enchantments. So pretty much these days, if I am going to do enchanting, this is where I come. This is where I've got plenty of books stashed up and lots of equipment, all pretty much all enchanted, all good things ready to go. Got a nice view around here, and the way I typically get down, because I'm lazy, is I like to jump down just to make things easier for me to just navigate around my place. And if you want to know what I really do, I like to do this, where I'll just parkour across my trees. I don't know, it's just something that I've always liked to do. It's just another way to work around and navigate around my world here and just check out different things. But let's keep on cruising. Let's just show off this side of my world, my island here, before we move on to other areas. So this is this furnace area that we showed just a few seconds ago. And this is where we've got ourselves a simple cow farm. This is where I pretty much get all my produce from my cows. Now, if I come through here without quickly letting too many of these guys escape, I do have this area down here. Now, I haven't used it for a long time, so I'm not sure if this is going to work, but we'll give it a go. Let's see if I can set my whole barn here on fire. Nope, I didn't set it on fire, and it looks like I missed that item as well. So, what was supposed to happen? Let's see if this guy's going to do it. This is like a poor man's version of getting, there we go, some drops, some cooked food and drops from the cows. Over the years, I guess the mechanics of how different timing systems work with redstone, so maybe this doesn't work as well as it used to. It's kind of obsolete now that we've got flame on swords, where you don't really need to kill them with lava anymore. But anyway, this is my cow farm. And this is just a little shack thing that I've got set up next to it. This is one of my original builds as well, just like a little hidey hole for staying the night if I want to. And I've got many things like this. I've got a pet wolf here, and I can't make them move, so I'm madly clicking here to try and get this guy to stand, but he won't stand. It's just one of the little, I don't know, little bugs that I have in my world for just being a really old world. Most of my animals that I have that are pets just don't cooperate with me. They just choose to ignore me, but I don't mind them. They can still hang around. I can still feed them, I think. I just can't move them or get them to walk. Anyway, so let's keep on cruising. We have this system down here, this little area. This takes us underneath a mountain that's right next to our main building area. This is just a dangerous pit. You can jump across here if you like. Try your luck. And it just takes us to the other side of the island. But across here, this is where we have our church that we showed. And here we go. This is another pathway that I run across quite frequently. Sometimes this slime block launcher here works, just like then. Most of the time it doesn't. Not sure why. And here we go. Let's just go into this side of the island. This whole area I've been making some changes to, just making it look all nice and pretty. And I've been minimizing the amount of torches that I use around my world as well. So I've been trying to limit the placement of torches. So what I typically do now is I just hold in different light sources underneath things like this area. So I might have a torch or a glowstone block or something like that, cover it with perhaps just a leaf block, or in this more recent instances I've been using brown wool. So it looks quite dark down there and you can't tell there's a light source beneath this this leaf block, but yeah, that's just one way to hide in different light sources around the place. This is another building that we have. This is a nice simple setup that I've created quite a while ago. I really like the look of it. I do try to create different styles of buildings, different houses that I create, just to make things interesting in my world. Got this balcony area that I've changed recently, just adding a different look for how we could support the structure from the balconies. And what else do we have? So this building here has got little like garden beds around it, and just wild wheat growing as well. All nice, simple designs. We have this area. This comes down into our wharf and to this kind of tavern building, I guess you would call it. This is where we can come inside, chill out, grab a beer. Eventually I'll have a foreign kind of map, some far lands that I'll map out and put onto this wall. Eventually I'll do that. And we have ourselves different levels, so it's quite a large building. Spent many times revisiting this building and just adding different details, changing different looks. We have this fireplace which I never use just because this whole building is made out of wood, and it'd be kind of disastrous to light a fireplace in this area, but we have a place to crash at night if things get crazy during the day. Got this enchantment area set up, got balconies to come out and explore. And here we go. This takes us out to a sailing ship, which is probably turning into more of a pirate ship these days, but the view was this is where we can offload cargo and put cargo onto the ship. So we have a nice little sailing setup here. This is something that I created quite a while ago in my world as well. And I used to get a lot of flack because I never used sideways wood blocks, but I guess that kind of motivated me to build this this sailing ship using wood blocks, and I never really used jungle wood, so this is just another reason why I picked this particular block type, because I didn't really have any other use for it. So that was the plan for why I created the sailing ship this way. The sails, pretty awesome, pretty simple. I do have a lower cargo area. This is where we can have some storage. I've got most of these chests full of different things. Pretty simple stuff. We've got some of these exploration maps to go and explore at some point. Kind of fitting that I store them in this ship. We can move our items around. In fact, let's do this. So that's going to take this minecart over into our storage setup, and this minecart can move around where we can help offload different things into these different chests. And all of these dispensers, these are full of fire charges, so we can fire these as well, take on any enemies if they want to approach. And nice little defense system. Okay, let's keep on going. There we have ourselves a lighthouse. This is something that does turn on at night time. It's redstone activated through a daylight sensor. There's no point going up there. All we do is we have a couple of different light setups. So basically at night time this thing will turn on. You'll see this blinking away at night time, and then during the day it's just off. So it doesn't lag out your world with different redstone setups. Got ourselves a little horse shack, little storage place next to our building here, and underneath this building is our main spot for storage. This is where I keep most of my items in my world. I do have a few of these kind of setups, but this is the main one. This is where we can come down and we can grab a whole lot of supplies as we need them. Most of these chests are full of goodies, things that I do use all the time. I can never have enough storage, and I like to duplicate storage around the place as well. So I don't keep everything just in one place. I like to spread things out as well. Alrighty, what else is there? We have ourselves this little passageway, I should say. This is something that, here we go, that we built pretty recently. It's just one way to help move items or mobs basically inside and outside of these portals, because this is only one block wide and it's pretty hard to get any animal up through that, but we can come through here. This is just a nice little, sneaky little passageway that comes out onto the main surface of the island. This just helps us move items in and out, and mobs. And we have another thing here. This is something that we did very recently, which is on this side. Yep, I think which one it was. This takes us through into our cactus farm area. So this is an area that I've polished off recently. And you can see our cactus farm. This is where we've got a whole lot of cactuses that get produced really quickly. We have our flying elevator to get up and down. So let's go for a ride. Here we go. See if we can get down without falling through the block. It is Minecraft, so the game is glitchy. Sometimes you'll fall through, but I really like this design just because it's a flying machine. That's basically what this is, and it's set up in a way that I use it as an elevator. So it's just something a little bit different in the game, rather than using the traditional type of elevator setups that you have. But this takes us beneath the farm, and this is where we can control redstone to... What do we do with the items? Do I destroy them? So at the moment I'm just destroying them. Or if I turn this off by retracting this lava, what will happen is we'll have items that will come down into these hoppers, come out into this... is it a dispenser or a dropper? I can never remember. Yeah, it's a dropper. And this piston setup will allow me to push the items through a vertical item transport system all the way to the surface. That allows me to store cactuses on the surface as well. So here we go. We're about to see an item come out. There we go. And up goes the item, just like that. So I'd leave this off because I've got too much cactuses, so I don't know what to do with it all. So I can just destroy them rather than store them. Let's take this up and we'll continue the tour. So I'm just going to come up through our blacksmith area here and show you our hobby farms area. This is an area that we had this nice little building. I like it, it's nice and colourful. And it's kind of like my hobby farm. This is where I've got a spot here where I can mine or basically harvest a whole lot of different items and produce to get their goodies. This is where I get watermelons and pumpkins. Just throw that away. We can get ourselves some nether wart. Just jump on top of that pressure plate and I can just simply just replant them. Just run along like this. This is just a simple way to get nether wart. Throw that away. We have eggs here being collected. This is just all nicely being funneled into a chest here with... We should still have some, backlogged. There we go. So we can get ourselves some eggs. Let's throw that away. I can collect here. Yeah, just ignore that. We can collect here some mushrooms. So this is where I can press this button. Magically, this will... That was weird. We had a texture strange thing there for a second. But we can lower that, throw that down, and then we can replant and get ourselves some more mushrooms. So that area works quite nicely as well. We have some rabbits here. These are a little bit timid, so you have to be a little bit careful coming near these guys. Sometimes they go a little bit crazy. Up here we have ourselves some little micro farms. So this is a pretty simple setup where I have some farms. I can get some cactus, or not cactuses, but some reeds here as well, some sugarcane. I get our sheep that somehow managed to escape all the time. How does this guy escape? I don't know how, sometimes my mobs just jump the fence, literally. But yeah, we have all these farms set up the same way, and I can just press a button and they'll automatically get harvested and push all the produce down to this other end. This just makes it really easy for me to collect them and then run along and replant them. They're not completely automated, but automated enough to make this whole process a lot easier and more fun, really, to collect different items and harvest different things. So we have the same setup on all these farms. Then we have this magical tree. This allows us to harvest these guys. There's cocoa beans. So I've changed this. There used to be a pressure plate up here, but I used to have mobs stand on top of this and activate this when I wasn't around. I can just press this button, everything gets harvested, and then the tree looks normal again. So this is all based off a piston design where what I can do is push up all these blocks, and then I have a piston set up at the top to push the blocks back down again. So all I need to do then just throw a few more onto the tree. I always get a few more than I actually harvest, so I can always get excess. I can always plant a few and keep a few. So that's the basic principle here. Then I can just throw them into this chest. And easy peasy. So along here, what we have is just a few more houses. There's a house here. Got some flower shops set up here. So this is mostly decorative. Sometimes there's hidden features like down in here. This is an area that I used to use back in the day when flowers and grass would die if it's been activated through light changes. Hard to explain, but here we go. Let's just test this out and I'll show you guys what I mean. If I throw in some bone meal into here, let's see what happens. Ooh, scary. And basically what would happen is the lights would turn on and off as that bone meal is being consumed and planted onto the ground. And back in the day in Minecraft, what used to happen is all these items used to break off by themselves. You wouldn't have to come along and punch it, it would just regrow by itself and basically harvest itself as well. And then all you had to do at the end was just collect everything. So that's all this really does. It's a pretty easy setup. It does allow you to get some flowers, but yeah, I guess since the game has been updated, I kind of kept this room around just for nostalgic reasons. It doesn't really serve in real function these days. I don't really use it a lot. So that's good to keep things around, and this is where I just... Ooh, I totally forgot about extra. This is where I got almost my flowers still. Interesting. I'll have to come back and raid this. We do have things like this set up. Another little hidden entrance and exit way. This just takes us down to the redstone behind this system. We can come out again, all nicely concealed. We can come out and close this off. Let's just do that as it gets nighttime yet again. This brown sheep is going to follow me around, it seems. We can jump down here. This is where I can have a very simple setup to get ourselves some extra flowers. So some of these tall flowers. All I do is flick a lever, and then I get these automatically harvested. So pretty easy. All it is just a dispenser full of bone meal, and then I can come along and store them in here. So we have the redstone out the back here, and a just nice little viewing area into just some wild gardens kind of things. So I really like the look that you can experiment with when you build these kind of farms. Sometimes you can just make it all functional where it just looks a certain way or harvests a certain way. I go for a blend, basically, where sometimes it's a bit of function and form. Let's see if we can get out of here. Perfect. Throw that away. Here we go, into another building. This is something I've renovated recently. It was it was kind of caught on fire just by a random lightning strike, so I had to redo this a little bit. We have same kind of usual setup. We have ourselves a fridge. What do we get this time? More watermelon? I think we've got some watermelon. Got ourselves a nice big screen TV in here as well. Got an outside area which takes us down to this little pond underneath this bridge, so if we wanted to do some fishing in there, we can. This is an area I've expanded pretty recently. This is where I'll basically put the pathway around to a different part of my island, so I can do some more building out that way. This is another house where we've got just a different look and feel. We've got an elevated spot here, nice viewing area out the back here. Not a lot of privacy, I guess, if you're using this bedroom, but quite like it. Looks pretty simple and nice and simple and easy to live in. Got our... This is what I really use for getting most of my wool. So this is where I have most of my sheep that I just come along and shear these guys whenever I want. And this is my banner store, so I'll keep all my wool in here at the moment, and then I can come in here and then craft all my different types of banners. So that's mainly what I use this building for. And then for the ones I've been using a lot, I've just been storing the banners out the front here, and it's nice to see the different types of looks of the banners you can create in the game. So let's keep on moving. There's this building. This is where we have ourselves... I used to store wheat in here, and I still do store wheat in here, but I've got someone trapped in here, and he's not happy. He's an angry man. So if I just sneak my way in, let's see if I can say hello without disturbing him too much. So currently he's trying to go upstairs, it looks like. This guy wanders around. He's got full diamond armor. He's got a shield and a diamond sword, and he literally will wander around up and down, go up and down the ladders. It's pretty cool to see guys walk around like that, and I can store different things in here, and we can escape as well. Nice outside dining. This takes us down into underneath this blacksmith building. By the way, there's another little entrance way I should show you guys. This is the most common way that I go downstairs. Is there's a button hidden behind this flame, and I can jump down through here. That closes after you come through. So yet again, just another one of these little trapdoor setups, little hidden passageways that I use to get around in my world, and keeps things interesting for me. Let's go across this other side here, and I'll show you guys where these beacons are being powered from. So, whoa, how you going, zombie? You were trying to rescue your friend in there, looks like, but I won't let you escape. Of course, he set me on fire. Let's pull off, and let's keep on cruising. And what we have in here, this is where we've got just a structure. This is really only for looks. We do have something on the inside, so we do have beacons that can come up through the ground here. And then we do have these launches that takes us up the top. This cow, I still don't to this day really understand how a cow could survive coming up from this launch pad and landing up here. But somehow it did, so I named him Moonshine, never healed him. And the cow is just looking after the place up here. But it's pretty awesome that he got up here. We can look after and look out over our island and different areas. Pretty happy the way that looks. I do craft fireworks up here. And hopefully, yep, we've still got some fireworks left in here. This is every night we fire off a random number of fireworks out the top of this building. That's also nice to check out. We do have a hidden way down. Ooh, down into there. But I'll show you guys another way, which I've changed recently. If we come down here, there's this little button that's hidden out the back, and we can come down into this beacon room. This is just an area that I've been changing over the, I guess over the last couple of years. Well, I thought I saw something down there. It'd be cool if I could capture a shark or something and put it into here, but, oh, that reminds me. Maybe I should put a squid in here and name the squid. Maybe I should do that. Anyway, so this is an area that I have this beacon set up, and what we can do, it's pretty crafty I think, is we can control which beacon power gets activated and when it gets activated. So at the moment, for example, I don't have speed on, but if I wanted a speed boost, all I got to do is toggle that lever. Aha, now we have speed 2. And it's currently controlled whether or not I want it turned on at nighttime or daytime. And this is, yeah, a lot of control you have over the beacon power, so this should wear off actually. I've turned this, where is it? Yeah, I've turned this off, so this should wear off. There we go. And this is all controlled by toggling whether or not there's something blocking the top of those beacons. So we do have an access way up there, so we can come up through these vines. And this is where all the magic happens. We've got a whole lot of redstone up in here. And this is that other passageway that I showed you guys where you could fall through and check out the bottom area. And basically all these different blocks get moved around through piston setups, and they block or unblock on top of these beacons, and that basically toggles things on and off. So in principle it's quite simple. It took a little while to get right, but I'm pretty happy the way it's turned out. So we can just swim up out of that little area there. That's a nice little hidden spot to come in and out of that redstone setup. This takes us to the surface again, and we have a few more things to check out. We'll come and look at that in a second, but first of all we have this area here. This is my chicken shop. We have automatic cooked chicken come through into here. We get feathers as well. Basically these chickens lay their eggs, and then the babies come over this side. As they grow up, they get killed by lava, and if we've got extra eggs we can always throw it up the top here as well. Another random sheep. And where's, yeah, we thought we had some extra eggs. There we go. Throw them in, and these guys will just get hatched over this other side. Very simple setup. Got a little dining setup here as well. I've been working on this pathway. And this is where I need to add a few more details, but I have had this area here that I've made a few changes to recently. This takes us to this little dock area. This is one very old villager. Are you going? He can escape, so I have to be careful. I do have a backup of my world that I'm using here, so if anything gets destroyed, I can always restore it. Over here we have ourselves a pyramid that I like to see that just gets appeared through the mist as you get closer, and this beacon's on all the time. It's just really for decorative looks, but I really like the shape that you get there from the pyramid when you see that part of the side. Looks good. I like the proportion. I think it really looks awesome. And over there we have our main area for tree farming, but we'll go take a look at that later. I do have some scattered palm trees around the place. This is just something that I like to do. It's kind of adding a little bit of a tropical feel to my island. I have a mixture of, I guess, looks that I go for. Certainly along the beach areas I like to throw in some palm trees. This is a little bit more of a modern house that I have around on my island. This is just a nice simple area that I can come and relax and chill out. It's kind of a home away from home at the moment. There's not too many neighbours at the moment, so it's quite peaceful at night, I guess. Tranquil. And this is something I like to do. I like to jump up here onto this palm tree, and this just, again, it allows me to parkour around my island. This is something that I do quite often now. And particularly now they got the elytra, it just helps to fly around the place as well. But okay, let's keep on moving. This takes us back over to our main chicken shop area. See if I can navigate through this vast jungle that I need to do some terraforming with. So this takes us back here. this takes us down into this area. Now, I don't know, it's kind of like a prison, but then I try to make it more like a resort. It's probably somewhere in between, but it is a village within a village. So I guess this whole island is kind of like a township, and I've made this little villager set up in here as well. So we do have villagers in here, and there is a way to transport villagers through a minecart system to get them here, but hopefully they are still alive. Yep, here they are, just hanging out, just having a meeting, it looks like. So I'll just let you guys do your thing in there. And this is an area that I've been changing on and off, adding different looks, and yeah, I like it. I like the buildings in here. I did used to have actual jungle trees in here, but I changed them to palm trees more recently. I think it adds a little bit more, I don't know, just a different look. Looks better. And as we come out here, obviously these are inverted, these daylight sensors, so these lights turn on at night time, and just makes this bridge area look a little bit nicer. I do like the way this... It's like a little contained village. I just really like the way it looks. And we do have some hidden areas underneath. This is just like a little tunnel system underneath this village. And in here we have ourselves a little enchantment room. So it is a bit of a theme. I do like to have many enchantment areas. This is where I can come and just do enchanting. And basically, whenever you get 30 levels, you just don't want to have an enchantment room too far away from you. So you can always do your enchantments. That's something I really like to do. As soon as I get enough levels, I like to just throw on a book or a new pick or something and see if we can get a new enchantment. So that's pretty cool. This is underneath this wheat storage area. We've just got some extra hay that's built up over the time and just stored in there. We have ourselves a bakery here. This is just a fun little build, nothing really purposeful other than you can just come in and steal some cake if you want. I like it, just adds little details. That's really all I try to do, is just add little details every now and then. Got some horses set up along here, another bridge. This takes us to, I don't know what you would call this. What would you call this building? But it's an area where you can tie up your horses if you ride on in. So this takes us to one of the main entrances onto the island. So there's plenty of posts here to tie up your horses, if I can speak. And you can come in, grab yourself a drink. There's, in fact, what do we have on tap today? I can't remember which lever does it. Maybe it's this one. Did I get anything? Yeah, I did. What did I get? I got some milk. Mmm, fresh. Okay, so we can come out here. Kind of like, I don't know, lagoon? What do you call this building? Anyway, it's a nice little building. I do have this place to store horses, and I've been breeding these mules in here recently, just creating a different spot to house these guys. I'll probably want to create an open area for them at some point. I do have a whole lot of horses built up here as well, and kind of stashed them in here. These are a lot of these skeleton horses that I've had spawn around my island that I've captured and stored here. I've got different ranked, so as we come closer to this way, they're supposed to get faster to ride. So some of these guys, sorry, but you're just slow to run, alright? But this is a pathway that takes us over to this desert area. So we're approaching the edge of our island. So we've got little storage places, more buildings around here. This is a nice little artificial looking waterfall that we created that wraps around our island and turns it into an island. And this takes us over into our desert village. So this is something that I created a very, very, very long time ago when we could first capture these villages and do different things with them. And basically, yeah, I've turned this into what I would take as a new desert-themed village. So that's all it really serves, is to have different villagers come in here. I've named a whole lot of these guys so I can tell what trades they have, particularly all these white coat guys, the librarians. So infinite fires, obviously I can get the infinity book and a fire protection book. That's very nice of you, Iron Golem, blast protection man. And I do have snow golems, well, iron golems that do fall down into this well, so not sure what they're going to do down there. It's pretty lonely down there, but they can do that. And yeah, I don't know what else to show. There's basically a whole lot of different buildings in here. And I don't know, it's just a fun little build. I do add little details every now and then to keep things interesting in here. But I like it. It's like a little village away from my village. But I think it looks cool. I do have throughout this desert these like little oases. But these things over here, so let's just check one of these out. So back in the old versions of Minecraft, you used to get deserts spawn or generate with little ponds of water. So rather than just filling them in like the newer versions of the game, what I've done is just put in some of these acacia trees and some flowers or reeds around them, and that's just helped to, I don't know, just bring the whole desert to life, and that's kind of the look that I was going for. So that's pretty awesome. Let's speed up the process here and head on over to what do we have here? This is my main reed farm. See if we can land without dying. And this is where I come over and get a whole lot of these sugar canes. I keep using sugar canes and reeds interchangeably just because the name of these things have changed over the years, if you didn't know that. It's a fun little tip. Little info that, yeah, these things have changed names over the years with the versions of Minecraft. So this is a nice area that I come visit. We have this little bridge to get over here, which does have more daylight sensors baked into it, so these light up at night time. These are like the little details I like to do with redstone. I don't try and make redstone a theme of my building, but it does allow me to incorporate different setups with lighting systems, and door systems, and all those kind of fun things. We can help with just trying to bring your world or your build to life. So this takes us back to one of these. Whoa! I tried to fly into the building. But we do have a villager in here. This guy is a fisherman from memory. So we can come through. Hopefully this guy is keeping his supplies up. Nope. You're not doing a very good job. What trades do you have? Terrible trades. But yeah, this is just another one of those simple little houses that I like to create. Keep these guys happy. Hopefully these villagers will Okay, that's someone who's been out in the sun too long and he's starting to get a little bit growly. You need some water. That's what you need. Let's see if I can... Whoa, I can't push you. Can I push you? No, I can't push you. Alright, well you're just going to have to die there, it looks like. So enjoy your stay, hold that bone, try and defend yourself. But eventually I think the sunlight will get the better of you. But this is a building that we have a bit of fun trying to get this guy in here. Now you can probably tell from the sound. Where is he? There he is. Oh, this angry man. Yes, so we managed to get one of these guys into here. These Vindicators, they are mean, they're angry, and they will try and pick you to death, literally. So I managed to trap one, bring him all the way from a woodland mansion onto a main island here. And I've stored him in here, so he can't escape. Got these iron doors. I did have a problem getting him in through the doors at one point, but got him all sealed up. But every now and then he'll come out and chop down some trees and give us some wood. Maybe makes a few chairs and things. That was the plan anyway. I see you. This guy is just really freaky, and no wonder you don't have any visitors. You're always angry. But anyway, let's keep moving. I want to show you guys one of my automated farms. So this is using villagers. So I'm just going to come straight through here, use these different passageways to our advantage. I can come out past our cow farm here, through our blacksmith area. So as you can see, as I move around my world, there's many ways to move about. There's not really one central path that you have to follow. There's just many different paths you can take, and it keeps things interesting. But inside this house, we didn't really come into here. This is just got a fireplace and got things to store, just different types of things. But we do have a little secret entranceway down here. And this takes us down into one of my favourite farming setups. So this is where we've got some villagers that all they do all day, every day is harvest carrots and potatoes. So I have many carrots and potatoes. There's two levels here. So this bottom level is the carrots. And on the second level, which is set up exactly the same way, I've got villagers farming potatoes. And they all funnel down into this area, into this catchment area. This is where we've got these chests that are just full of all the goodies. And all I do is I come in here and I'll take something like this, and I'll come into this villager and say, hey, you want some carrots? And I've been trading with this guy so much that the trade options now are just terrible. I really can't trade many items with this farmer. I'm going to have to bring a new farmer in here at some point, but I really like this type of farmer where the trading option here is a multiple of 16 and just makes it even when you're moving items inside and out of this trading GUI panel, whatever you want to call it. But this is an area that I have been making some changes to. I do like the way it looks. It's nice and simple. Just got some stuff here from the excess kind of trades that I have to do. And this is where I'm getting all my emeralds. And check it out, there's plenty of emeralds. I've got no shortage of emeralds. And I really like the way this little setup is working for me. And yeah, unfortunately I can't eat any cake right now. But thanks for the suggestion though, it was quite nice. But yeah, I've got a little enchantment area at the back here, just because we do get all the different levels, so I can repair things, do some enchanting here as well. And keeps things nice and moving and simple for me, because I'm a simple man. I really like to be able to do enchantments whenever I want. And yeah, do some trading as well, because I do use those emeralds over in the desert village. And if you didn't notice, I just did use this nice little passageway to come out here as well. Let's come down here. This is another area that I haven't shown you guys. I haven't really worked on this pathway too much, but we do have more spawners down here. So this is a zombie spawner. Now I do have slimes that spawn in there as well sometimes, which is pretty interesting. This just takes us along a all natural looking mineshaft system, and right down the end, so we'll come to this in a second, but we do have ourselves a spider spawner. So plenty of spawners around this area. This is not something you see in the game too much these days, but my world here was mainly created in 1.3 version of Minecraft. So all the different types of blocks that you see that are quite newish in the game, I've had to bring in from different biomes and different areas that I've explored since I created this world. But yeah, this is a nice little setup. You didn't really have too many spawners around like this. Certainly not at the same level where this can take us around to that triple mob spawner. And it's just really nice having different spawner options available to us in this game, in my world. So I can really do whatever I want with them. Eventually I'll probably do something with these spawners, but for now, I don't really have a need for them, so I'm just leaving them there. I'm not going to destroy them, I'm just going to leave them there. This is a nice little trick that I have to get up to the surface, so I can jump into this minecart, press this magic button, and this takes us up through a minecart track all the way to a surface. This is kind of like an old mining pit, so that was what it's supposed to represent, so we can check it out. There is another minecart that moves around in here, so when I press this button, these minecarts move around, and we do get a different minecart that moves. So I think it looks good. It kind of adds a bit of life to the area when you see minecarts moving around the place. And looks like I just broke it. No, here we go. There's the minecart. So yeah, we can hop on down, we can cruise around. This will take us to the bottom, and there's a different track that takes us to the top. So I really like this area. It took a little while to get right, the kind of look that I was going for with the reinforced walls using the fence posts. But I think it works. I think it does look good, in the vines and just different details in here. Makes it look nice and worthwhile, I think. But the passageway across, a little bit dangerous. You might fall through, but this will take us over to a different area to build at some point. What else do we have around here? We have this house. Not sure if, did I show you guys? Pretty sure I showed you guys this house. But I will show you another building that I have that's a little bit far out there. So let's see if we can get a bit of a boost. And let's just fly over this way for a little bit. And what I'm going to do is just hover over this area. This is just one of those little outposts that you have sometimes. And this is where I've chopped down some trees. It kind of looks like a lumberjack area. And what we'll do is we'll just come over here. This is an area that I've... Whoop! Terrible landing. But this is an area that I've worked on pretty recently, adding in this bridge. Just to... Hey, who's going to say hello here? You going to say hello? I'll say hello back. But this takes us over into this area, and this is like a little treehouse setup that I have, where I've made it out of, what do you call these things? These are the roof forest types of trees, and I've basically built a house inside trees. So I do like this. This is my version of what a treehouse can look like. So just a different type of interior, different things going on in here. We've got an outside area that I can come out to. Eventually I'm going to put a mob or something inside this house, because it is a bit far away and it'd be nice to have a reason to come out here and check up on someone. But we've got a nice little place here to do some farming. And there is this building down here that I've started but haven't finished. But there you go. This is something I am going to work on at some point. And there is a spider spawner directly down there as well. So more options I have with building. So let's go into the Nether. So what I'm going to do is show you one of many different passageways I have to get into the Nether. So let's see if I can fly here. See if we can cruise along this way. And you can see this whole area I've got left to build on. In fact, this house here I haven't shown you. So, oh! don't just ignore that. Clearly I am missing my office there. Not sure what happened to it, but yeah, I need to work on that. But yeah, this house, I haven't shown you this one. It's just got a fireplace. Pretty simple setup, nice and easy, nice and comfy, and it's just got another little bridge crossing here with a rabbit underneath. Pretty sure I haven't shown you guys this. But yeah, this is just one of the many houses that I have. Oh, and I guess there is this place. Now, this is something that I don't like to talk to too much. It's kind of a mystery kind of building. There's a lot of redstone in here, particularly underneath, you can see. We do have some TNT and fireworks that get exploded in this room every now and then, but I do like to store my different redstone and TNT in here. TNT in this room as well, so that's what this kind of house is for. It's a little redstone house. But let's go into the Nether. So I'm going to show you guys the main portal that I use. So that is beneath my Blacksmith. And let's go into the Nether. So one way to get down is just through here. We'll come down through this passageway. Easy peasy. And then we'll jump in through this portal. Alrighty, so here we are. This is my Nether hub. Very simple, very basic. Hasn't been overdone. I think too many people really overdo their Nether hub systems for what they're actually used for. But these are the two main portals that I have. This portal takes us to the Blacksmith building. This one takes us back to the wharf area down by our sailing ship. This is one of the minecart tracks that I have. Yeah, it's a good way to transport things around. This is a nice little, I guess this is just a fun building area. This is, I was trying to think, what else do I call this area? This is just a little fun little project I had to build and create some farmable areas for netherwort. So that's what this area out here is. We've got plenty of places to grow netherwort here. And I've also been storing some of my skeleton horses in here as well. So that's what these guys are doing. They're just hanging out, just chilling out. That's where I can grab a horse when I need them. And I'm pretty happy the way the different color combinations worked in this room, particularly using the magma block. It's not a block that I've used too often, but I think it looks good in that room. Now, if we want netherwort, besides this room, I'll just show you guys this. It's some area that I need to somehow incorporate better into my world where I can have easier access, but at the moment, where is that gas? Alright, I think the coast is clear. Now, I've got plenty of netherwort around the place. I've got netherwort growing up there, I've got netherwort growing around the walls here. Now, let's see if I can do something dangerous and fly for a little bit in the nether. It's always a dangerous thing to do. Whoa, that was pretty good. And yeah, as you can see, I've got netherwort for days. This is something that I've been doing in the nether here, is just planting netherwort around the place. It just adds a little bit of life into the nether. It's just a little bit plain and boring if you don't have things growing around the place. So that's what I've been doing, just planting a whole lot of this netherwort. And just, it's funny when you want to go to harvest something, you just run to a random spot and just start harvesting this stuff. It's pretty easy to harvest. And let's see if we can get around here. And I guess the one downside of harvesting netherwort like this is when you've got to walk over the soul sand, that it's a bit slower. It can be a bit faster if you're harvesting while riding a horse. This is something that I typically do down in the other area where we have those paddocks basically of netherwort. But I guess it's not too bad. So this is above our little hub system. So let's just, in fact, I have got a backup of my world, so I can just break things and damage things. Oh, it's okay. I can repair it later. But this is another little transition room that we have. This portal here takes us over to a large tree house that I've made. And this is just another one of these like interim rooms where it's like a room within a room that joins to different things. So let's just go through and I'll show you guys this large tree house that I have. This is something that hopefully, well, there we go. Yeah, sometimes these guys spawn like crazy in this room. I'm not sure what it is with the zombie pigmen, but they really like this portal. So this is a very old build that I created. So a lot of the building blocks that I've used in here are pretty primitive. But it is a fun little build. I shouldn't say little, because it is a big build. It is a large tree after all, so let's just... I think this might be the easiest way to show you guys if I just fly around it. So it is a large jungle tree. It's one of the main large, like, colossal type of builds that I've done in my survival world. It's not something that I've done a lot of. It's pretty hard to build things and gather resources in survival, and this took months to build. Like, it's just so much time and effort went into building this. And I don't really come over and look at it. So, yeah, I'm not sure if I'll build anything like this in the future, but yeah, it's a pretty crazy build. And there's a pathway that takes us back over to our main island. So this is the pathway. Whoops, I totally messed that up. And yeah, so this is main island just over here. I might as well quickly show you this ice farm while we're here, and then we'll jump straight back into the Nether. So this is where we have our ice factory. Used to work quite well, but not anymore. So we could lower these blocks to help form ice, and then sink them back down again. All these fun things. Ice used to form here, and we could just run around and harvest it, and then we could dispense water and create source blocks just using these dispensers here. And yeah, this is all broken, so none of this whole feature set works in the game anymore. It's just something that was available to us early on in the game, and it hasn't been replaced since. So you have to go to a higher area now, or into one of those snowy actual biomes to get ice to form. But that's okay. That's just gives me more incentive to build myself another ice farm in the future. I'm not sure where I'll build it, but I'll certainly build one at some point. But I might as well show you guys the other portal that we can use, given that we need to go back into the Nether. And that is directly underneath this wharf, and I can show you this will take us back into that Nether hub. So let's just come down here. I quite often use this portal as well, particularly when I want to grab some supplies outside of these chests. Then I'll just jump on through into this portal, and then out we come into this Nether area. So as you can see, I like to integrate a whole lot of my places, so it's really easy to get around. And that works well for me. So let's go into this room. This is where we have ourselves some of these horses ready to go whenever I want to go somewhere. So we can grab one of these, harvest some of these chorus fruits if we want to, but we can follow this pathway. This takes us along this tunnel system. Well, I guess it's, I don't know, what do you call it? A bridge system? Tunnel system? Not sure. But it's my track that takes us into different sets of biomes. So when we had first lot of, I think it was in Minecraft 1.7 that came out when we had different types of biomes introduced. This is one of the pathways that I use to get away from my main island and go and explore new terrain. And this just takes us along here. I did do some decorations along this pathway, but it's not completed. There's always work to be done, but I think it looks good. It's just a nice simple area. And I'm not using minecarts to transport. This is really built for horses, so it's really easy to navigate around. We've got these random bunnies that jump around as well. We've got another one of these. How you going? Are you going to be my friend? Oh, you are my friend. Interesting. This just takes us to one of these random biome areas. There's nothing really to see through there. We do have these launch pads. Now let's see if this is going to work for me. It has worked, but not so recently in the newer versions of Minecraft. Let's give it a go. We can jump up here, and this one? No. Oh, it did work. So most of the time that does not work. It's just a bug with slum blocks. I'm pretty sure it's a bug. But yeah, there's just a little transition area to change the height of this pathway, because I just need to basically get over more terrain here. There's over a lava lake here, so this is just taking us over to another fun area. And this is where I have my water temple, or water monument, that has been converted into a guardian farm. So this is an area that I've used quite a lot as well. We'll come down here. I can park my horse inside this little room. Got some other horses here as well. And we have our fish tank. These guardians are just happily just chilling out in this area. Enchantment room. And we have another guardian down in here. Now this is where I used to bring guardians into the Nether. I wanted to kill them at mass, but now that we have max framing entity rule, where we can't have a whole lot of mobs in the same location, I don't really use this setup anymore. But anyway, I do like this farm. It took a long time to build, and I'm pretty happy the way it's turned out as well. So, and I do have a whole lot of things stockpiled out here because I had to spend so much time working out on this farm. Here we go. This guy's just chilling out as well. I have a whole lot of things built up, so I've got chests full of stuff. It's just chests on chests on chests of stuff. And yeah, I've got plenty of skeleton horses out the back here as well. Because working around this area, particularly when you're just surrounded by water, it was very easy to get these skeleton horses to be generated from a lightning storm, thunderstorm. So here we go. Let's go on over into this area. This is our guardian bowl or fish tank. What do you call this thing? Just farming setup. Basically, I've shrunk in the size of where the monument actually was, and these guys spawn at mass, and they fall through. We've got a setup down here where they can fall through these fences, and then they go funnel into a catchment area. So here they are, they're going to funnel along, and then they go into a central killing spot. So this farm works very well. Probably would be more efficient if we covered it with just a solid block, and I've heard people have more success by making it darker all the time, but I don't really need that. It's sufficient enough for me. What's the easiest way to get down? Let's do this. Why not? I've got feather falling on, so I can cruise down here, and this will take us down into the catchment area. So here we go. This is where I can move these guardians into the nether if I wanted to by just activating some pistons, and that will block this passage off, and then we can have the guardians flow into the nether. But at the moment they're going down into a catchment area. So if we just come down here and just sneak along through the back entrance, we have this area here, and this is where we have our guardians that come down, get killed by the lava, and then I get all their nice drops in these chests. And this is just another area where I've got plenty of things stored up. I've got items and blocks and just so much stuff. I've just yeah, I've got too many blocks that I would ever need. So this is just a nice little simple setup. So I'm back in this transition room, and this horse is going crazy. Maybe perhaps it's detecting an Enderman. Aha! Yeah, I know, pretty lame. But as we had Enderman first introduced into the Nether, I kind of built this ahead of time to warm up to the fact that I would be seeing these scary eyes around in the Nether. So I've just created this simple little trick here with the pressure plate that these horses just walk over sometimes, and when they do, the eyes on this Enderman appear. So just a fun little build. This portal takes us over into the end. Now I haven't really built a lot in the end, so nothing really to see when you go through that portal. Let's go on and follow this minecart track, shall we? So this takes us to a different area of the Nether. So let's just jump on in. There's a minecart in here, and hopefully these big zombies don't annoy us on our journeys here. But you will see along the journey here that we've got some of these old pathways above us, this kind of cobblestone look. This is where I had my original minecart track that went in this direction, and I kind of left parts of it in place, so I don't know, it's kind of look good every now and then to look back at your previous builds and think how terrible they were, so I've kind of left some of that stuff as it was. Now this is our first stop. This is taking us to, if you haven't guessed it, a little witch hut. So this is a naturally spawned witch hut in the game that I've expanded upon, just making it look bigger and, I don't know, just better. But here we go. As you can see, out there is our witch hut. Now there will be witches that spawn in there. I have mined out and lit up a whole lot of the caves around this area. So these guys will spawn, but I decided not to turn it into a farm, like an actual witch farm. Just I think it looks better when you just got something more natural looking, so that's all that is. It's just for a bit of fun. If I want to go a bit of hand-in-hand combat with a witch, that's where I can go to get a witch. And because I worked on this area for quite a lot as well, I do have a lot of skeleton horses that spawned around the area, so I've stored them out there on this little island. Looks like we've got a coward making a break for it, but yeah, we've got a whole lot of skeleton horses over there. And let's jump back into this little hut. There we go, we've got a little dog that's waiting for a little row, but sorry buddy, you'll have to wait for another time. So let's continue our journey along this mysterious minecart track. We can just jump in, press this button, and then that powers these power rails, and then off we go. Now as we go along you might see things like this. This is like a floating fireball, and there's more over there. This is how old this version of Minecraft is, well, my particular world here. So I've had many things glitch out in the game, and I don't know, it kind of adds character over time. And this is my original minecart track that we've polished up a little bit since we first built it. But it's, I don't know, it kind of looks good where you've got these old beaten down tracks right next to these more modern ones as well. So down in here, this is taking us into our farming area, or this is just a killing area I should say, for different nether mobs. So we can come along here, and this is where we've got some storage. There's probably some stuff, yeah, a lot of goodies still in these chests. And this is where we can hunt down our different types of mobs. Something died here. Hopefully we don't see too many of our wither skeletons. Now they do spawn in here. This is where I mainly get my skulls. Well, it's the only spot really I get my skulls, but I do get mobs that spawn down the bottom here, but most of them spawn up the top, so we have to be careful because they do spawn in packs. It's a bit hard to see, but I do have some wither skeletons down there. Got ourselves a normal skeleton here. I've got to be careful because I normally run around here with potions, and the area is big enough where if I run from one end to the other, the mobs despawn and then I get a new batch of mobs that will spawn in, so that keeps things interesting. And I do get a lot of mob drops here, and I put this cow in here, this mushroom, just because I would run around with a bowl as well. It's an easy way to get food because I would always run out of food back in the day, and all I had to do here was basically fill up on soup and that would keep me powered and running along, and that would help me run around and get all the goodies that I wanted to get. So let's just take a peek through here. This is an area that I haven't done too much with quite a while, but if you haven't seen this area, this is my mushroom island that I have, and I've created some interesting builds here, I guess. This is an area that I've made like a little home in here. This is like, I guess, the main guy that's going to look after this place, and we can come out into this area. Now this is where we've got some of these large farms. This is a melon farm. This is a semi-automatic version, and over this other side we have ourselves a pumpkin farm, and this is a completely automated version. So this will, you can see it's currently harvesting right now, and what happens is this water gets retracted and then these pistons get retracted, and we'll get ourselves some more pumpkins that will start to be farmed. So here we go, we're about to see it transition. Come on, these pistons are going to get retracted, and there we go. And then we'll start to see pumpkins being generated and spawned on those blocks. So it's completely automatic. How many have we got in here? Quite a few. Quite a few pumpkins ready to go if we ever need it. You can climb up the stalk pattern out the back here if we wanted to check out and inspect on the inside. I have got a tutorial on my channel on how to build these farms. I really like them. I don't use them enough. I do like the look of the pattern of how this farm works, more so than the actual farm itself. But yeah, it's a fun little build. So these things, yeah, just one way to get different mobs, or not mobs, but different pumpkins and melons to spawn in your world. Now I do have some of these large mushrooms that I've created in my world here as well, and there's nothing really on the inside of them besides growing areas for mushrooms. Let's see if we can, something that I haven't done, let's go and check this out from the sky. Fly, here we go. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, not bad. I'm pretty happy with these builds. They've stood up to the test of time. I built these so long ago. Yeah, I think they look good. They do look like mushrooms, I think. So yeah, I kind of built these things, and I'm pretty sure the stalks, yeah, the stalks are made out of the actual mushroom blocks that you used to get with Silk Touch, but not anymore. So if I ever break one of these blocks, I'll never be able to replace it. So I have to be pretty careful if I'm going to build around this area, because yeah, you won't be able to get those kind of blocks anymore. And I did change some of these to be the large types, the different types of variants that you get in the game now, particularly in the roof forest biomes. So these were artificially made, I guess you could say, to make them look taller, or a mixture of heights, because it is an old mushroom biome, and I wanted to add some of the new features of more recent changes to the game to this biome. So that's why I've got different heights of these mushrooms around the place. But anyway, let's jump back into our portal. And we need to keep on going. We need to keep on traveling further away from our main island, which is in that direction, by the way. And this is going to take us into our more recent areas that we've been building in the more recent versions of this series. So let's come back through here, and we need to jump up, back up through this area. This is where the old minecart used to come down on the original track. Might do something about it in the future. I don't know, make it workable somehow again. But if we come up here, we'll have to try and dodge this gas that I can hear. Grab ourselves this minecart. Thank you. I do need to work on this transition a little bit easier, so it's a little bit manual at the moment to change tracks, but we've got this track that we built, and this keeps on travelling in this direction, further and further away from our island. And this was in the hunt of the Mesa biome. That's really what I was looking for, and I found it eventually. Haven't done too much with the Mesa yet, but we have found the biome, and this is one way to get there. So this is going to take us to a snowy area first, and this is where I've built my snow village, or my snowy village, and my little igloo village as well. So a couple of things to check out. So this track here needs to be worked on. I've kind of done some things around the entrance, but haven't really extended this in here yet, so at the moment, we've got to leg this last part here, jump up here, on foot. Not too bad, it's not too far we have to travel. Just cruise along here, and I was really just looking for a temporary spot for a portal, and that's all we have here at the moment. It's just a temporary portal location. You can see the portal now, and let's see if we can glide on through. Here we go. And this is the portal. Now I do need to hook up proper portals to our villages, but at the moment, I'm just going to have this one temporary one coming up on top of a mountain, but that's okay. As we come through, we'll come out into this snowy area, and let's go and check out this area down here first. See if I can... Why can't I fly? You gonna fly for me? No. That's a dud. Alright, there we go. So we have a couple of these polar bears down here that we've captured, and we've got this original igloo that we found. Now the mesobiome, if I get my bearings right, is just over here, which I haven't done anything with, as I said. I probably should do something out here. Where is it? I'm going to get lost. There we go. There's the mesa. So that's where the mesa is in relation to the portal. And if we just come back, hopefully we can find our way. Yep, here we go. So I'm going to go and look for our igloo village first, which is just down this way. And hopefully these villages that we have here are still alive. So here we go. This is our little igloo village. And this is all man-made, so none of these igloos were here originally. I created this area, and I converted some of the zombie villages into real villages, and that's how we've got this population here. So it's a fun little build. Wanted to have this little place for these villages to hang out in our snowy biome here. This is where we had our Christmas tree. I need to probably cover that with snow. And we've got these portals all decked out. They've all got an interior, just different themes. So this is like a farming theme. This one is a mining theme. I like it, looks good, practical, and in fact I think we do have a horse in here. Do I remember leaving a horse here? Is there one in here? No. Okay, no dramas. But if we want to get out of here, I'll show you guys my snowy village, my actual village that I'm building. So this is like a villager village, but we've got another village. See if we can come this way without saying the word village again. But if we head out in this direction, this takes us to a different type of township that I've started to create, just with a larger building style. I like to mix up different types of buildings in my world here, in my map, and this is what I've come up with so far. So since you guys have last seen it, I think I've worked on a couple of things, so none of this has probably changed. This building here I've finished. I'm not sure if I have shown this on camera before, but this is just one of these, I don't know, this is going to be not a blacksmith, but probably more like an armory type of place, because I've got a spot here for putting up all these armors on these armor stands. Pretty simple, pretty easy to do. And we've got a little way down here away on this outside staircase. And yeah, it's just a different type of building style. I wanted something completely different, and this is the kind of style that I came up with. So I'm not sure what theme it is, but it's just, I don't know, my take on what a snowy village could look like. I haven't done the interiors for a lot of these buildings yet, so a lot of them are quite bare. I have worked on the interior on this building, which I don't think I've showed before. Here we go. I've added quite a lot of detail in here. And it's funny because there wasn't a whole lot of building room on the inside, but I think I've maximized the building area quite well. It looks quite full in here, really. So this is like a glorified enchantment room. Pretty happy with the way it's looking. And yeah, what else can I say about this place besides that it's consumed most of my flowers? I don't really have many flowers anymore. This guy scared me. In fact, I thought it was a zombie for a second. But yeah, this is my snowy village. This is where I've got things on the go. There's many things I want to keep working on in this area. Eventually I'll probably have some villagers that will roam around this place as well. Kind of like another village away from my main island village. And yeah, I'm pretty happy the way this place is turning out. So I'm going to finish the world tour here by showing you guys a different type of builds that I've worked on more recently. This is probably more for the people that haven't fallen asleep and are true fans. You guys know who you are. And hopefully you can find this place. So if you're going to download my map, check out around the surrounding areas from my main island. That's a bit of a tip, a bit of a hint. It's near my main island. I have these things over here. This is something that I have created. Very different style for me. It's just something that I've been kind of experimenting with, just having a bit of relaxing time, listening to podcasts, those kind of things while I do some building. This one's pretty much finished, and this one, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, if I leave it like this or if I put some kind of structure on the inside. But I've been playing around with these different building styles, something very different for me. I haven't really built anything like this before, particularly in survival. And I'm pretty happy the way they're turning out. If I see if I can fly around them a little bit. So much easier to navigate and get back up to the top now that we've got the elytra and the firework combination. But as you can see, they're kind of like repetitive patterns and like these spikes or tower designs. And I think they look pretty good. I think it's just something extra for my world. It's way far enough where it doesn't conflict with the other building styles that I have, but it's not too far away either that you will never be able to find it. So it's something where I can come over and visit, and if I want to express a different way of building or just experimenting in the game, I do have these structures to play with. And it kind of makes sense. These are kind of on top of cliffs, and I just like the way it looks. I think it's just a nice little area away from the different type of building styles that I typically do, and I can experiment with different things. But anyway, there we go. Thank you for watching. Hopefully I haven't bored you to death. If you want to download the map, please feel free to do so. I'll leave a link in the video description. You can check it out, and I will see you guys in episode 101. Thank you for watching, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks guys, cheers.